Hi, everybody. This is Saad for the Sad Truth. Some of my followers will at times ask me, why is it that I waste my time responding to some random person, some anonymous idiot who's trolling me or insulting me or engaging in some typical social justice warrior tactic? And the answer is that at times, or most of the times, it's not really because the person in question is the one that I am targeting my attention to. Rather, I am hoping that those who uh, are exposed to that exchange will first be emboldened to take on such enemies of reason, but also to hopefully contribute in some small way to the rejection of these types of tactics within the arena of public discourse. So to give you an example, yesterday I had shared a article regarding the increase of the Dow Jones since Donald Trump, um, had won the election, and I had sarcastically mentioned that, oh, perhaps the fact that CNN is the one who is reporting this story, is this a manifestation of fake news? And so it was satirical on several levels. So some person writes back, this is on my public Facebook page, and she basically says, I thought you were smart when you engaged Sam Harris, but now I'm disappointed in you. One always loves when some random stranger writes to you in a patronizing and condescending way and says, oh, gee, I'm so disappointed in you, as if suddenly the purpose of my life is eternally damaged by some random idiot being, quote, disappointed in me. This is very similar to when somebody says, I'm offended by this. Who cares if you're offended? Nobody cares about your disappointment. I don't know you. I don't care about you. And nobody cares about you taking offense. But in any case, she then said, you are supposedly a scholar, and she puts it in quotes. So this random person, I probably contribute more to her on any given Monday than she will in her entire life, chooses to use my scholarly status as a form of attack. I mean, as I mentioned in one of my rebuttals to her, if you're going to attack me, then certainly attack my weight. Probably barking up on my scholarly status is only going to make you look like a fool. But in any case, the worst problem in terms of her set of insults was when she basically said that, my views are just as extremist as those of the Nazis and ISIS. So my sharing an article by CNN wherein they are reporting that Donald Trump's victory has led to, I think it was an increase of 1,200 points in the Dow Jones, index. That is akin, in terms of its extremist nature, to ISIS and the Nazis. She wasn't engaging in hyperbole here. By the way, to the idiots who write me whenever I say a hyperbole to correct me, that's because I also speak French. As a matter of fact, I speak 4 languages, unlike probably the one language that you speak. And so sometimes I will say the words in their French version. So you don't need to write to me an email to teach me how to say the word. It maybe smells of slight bit of patronizing to engage in this. Even if I were to misspell a word, it might not be the best use of my time and yours to write to me to so-called teach me how to pronounce a word. But in any case, this person wasn't engaging in hyperbole. She actually doubled down, because then I engaged her on Twitter, and then she repeated on multiple occasions that, I'm a Nazi, I'm a lying Nazi, I'm a Nazi, repeatedly. And of course, those tweets are now immortalized, as is part of our exchange on Facebook. But no one archived the whole thing. But I did manage to take screenshots of some of the really good juicy parts. And so then I went after her. Now, again, someone might think, well, what's the point of this? I mean, you're wasting your time. You have a lot more valuable things to do than to specifically focus on her. But guess what happened? I guess she felt so much the pressure of having her words come back to haunt her that she deleted the whole thread from my public Facebook page and then deleted her whole account on Twitter. Her account was at adaptive mindful. Boy, is she maladaptive, and boy, is she lacking in mindfulness. But in any case, so again, the point here is not so much that when I take time to respond to a particular individual, that I'm specifically targeting my ire and my attention to that individual. Rather, I'm hoping that those who are reading this will benefit in one way or another. So there you have it. This is why I take the time to attack all of these truly morally degenerate buffoons, right? I mean, for someone to compare my sharing a Trump article and his victory with an increase in the Dow Jones as a form of extremism that is akin to ISIS and the Nazis. Now remember, I am a Jewish person who escaped execution in Lebanon, and apparently my views are really perfectly in line with those of the Nazis and ISIS and their extremism. It's baffling, it's unacceptable. There was a time when people can hurl all sorts of horrifying and ugly racial slurs at other people, and this was accepted. And then the zeitgeist changed so that it is no longer acceptable, at least among sane, rational, tolerant people, to speak in this manner. So by the same token, whenever we see this type of regressive, social justice warrior mindset that right away resorts to calling everybody with whom they disagree a racist and a bigot and an ISIS member and a Nazi, we need to turn the table on them and corner them. And hopefully, if enough people do it, we can regain the space for rational and reasonable public discourse. So there you have it, folks. I hope you've had a great weekend. I'll talk to you soon. Ciao.